It is not often that a team can lose 5 starters and have a chance to repeat as champion the following season. But that is the position the Oyster Bay Baymen find themselves in today. And today in the Nassau County B Finals, they'll take on Carle Place, a team that is here for the first time since 2015. It's Oyster Bay, it's Carle Place, next on News 12 Varsity. Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome to the campus of SUNY Old Westbury, the site of the Nassau County Boys B Championship. Matt Shortis and Dylan Butler with you. It's Carle Place and Oyster Bay, two teams with identical 11-9 records. And Dylan, it was not an hour ago on this floor that saw Carle Place girls defeating Oyster Bay for a three-peat. The boys trying to pull off what would be a minor upset today and knock off the defending county champs.
Yeah, so if you're fans, basketball fans of either school, you have a pretty cool doubleheader here at a great location. And look, without a doubt, these two teams, they know each other well. They split the two regular season matchups, and they did those by playing in the 40s, which I think one team would like, the other maybe not so much.
Oyster Bay, they would like to push the tempo. Carle Place, they only go about 7 deep. The last game, the win that they had in the regular season over Oyster Bay, 4 of their 5 starters did not come off the floor. One of those starting dealers, Chris Rosillo, he's their big man in the middle, and they look for him both points, rebounding, and some toughness as well.
Yeah, and he's done a little bit of all of that this year, of course, as well. And he had a big game in their win as well. Look, he's a guy who can go to the rim. He can also shoot it from the outside for a big guy as well. An all-county player, averaging 16 points and 3.7 rebounds a game.
And we mentioned losing 5 starters for Oyster Bay. Anthony Riley helped fill that void. He transferred in from St. Tom's, and he's done a great job this year for the Baymen.
I mean, you talk about another guy who does a lot of everything. It's Riley. When you look at the box scores for the Baymen every game, it's Riley with usually the leading of points, the leader in rebounds. He's got steals, he's got assists. He's very much that do-it-all guy. He stayed in their neighborhood, of course, going from St. Tom's to Oyster Bay. But when you lose your starters, that's a nice acquisition to get if you're Oyster Bay.
So the Baymen trying to repeat as county champs. Carle Place trying to pull off a doubleheader sweep of Oyster Bay. It's the Nassau County Boys Class B Championship next on News 12 Varsity.
Who will rise higher, dunk harder, and go farther? The playoffs are here. Tune to News 12 Varsity all postseason long.
Welcome back to SUNY Old Westbury. Matt Shortis, Dylan Butler, Tom Schnorris with you as we get ready for the Nassau County Boys Class B Finals between Carle Place and Oyster Bay. The Frogs come in 11-9 on the season, coming off a 58-52 win over Malvern in the semifinals. John Cantwell is their coach, 4th year as head coach. The starting lineup for Carle Place is Nate Armstrong, Tommy Brown, Chris Kelly, Chris Rosillo, and Matt Morrison. The Baymen 11-9 as well, coached by Brian Boyle, a St. Mary's graduate, 1999, 3rd season as head coach for him. And the starting lineup for the Baymen, it's Elia de Blasio, Brian Sindler, Anthony Riley, Devon Marmorelli, and Luke Puccio. It's Carle Place in the green and Oyster Bay in white. And these two teams split during the regular season. The first meeting went to Oyster Bay 48-40. And the second went to Carle Place 46-39. Oyster Bay moves left to right to start. It's in the hands of Elia de Blasio, the junior second-year varsity player. 3-point threat. He's made 36 threes on the season.
And you see early on, too, Carle Place 2-3 zone.
3 from the right side for Puccio. That won't go, but an offensive board by Anthony Riley. Top of the key, it comes for Marmorelli. Kick out, Riley, he'll try a 3 from the left side. Nothing but net on that one. And Oyster Bay's leading scorer gets them on the board first.
And right away, Oyster Bay out in the full court 1-3-1 press.
And we had a whistle and a timeout. As Carle Place takes a quick one just to avoid a turnover on their first possession of the game. We talked about in the open, Dylan, this is the style of play that Oyster Bay wants to play. We said Brian Boyle, St. Mary's graduate, so he literally went to the school of Tim Cluse.
Hey, yeah.
So he came up under the current Iona coach, and how they had so much success, both he as a player and Tim Cluse as a coach at St. Mary's. So a lot of his protégés, former players, they bring that style. They want to be pushing the ball both offensively and defensively. And that is a style that Oyster Bay likes to play when they're going well.
And what you like to see in this game is that it is a contrast in styles. So Carle Place would rather, of course, slow things down and be more patient in their offensive sets. So this should be interesting.
The flowing locks of Tommy Brown and Chris Kelly out for Carle Place.
Yeah, we just had a flow contest for hockey. You don't normally see that in basketball, though.
We got a couple out there today. Rosillo driving into the paint, pulls up just inside the free throw line. Missed on the shot, hard-fought rebound, Marmorelli.
And there you see right away, off the miss, quickly Oyster Bay pushes.
Some more main on the Oyster Bay side this time. Right side three-pointer for de Blasio. That won't go. Tipped up and out of bounds by Carle Place. Normally in these bigger gyms, the shooting is a little slow to come.
Yeah.
Oyster Bay has not been hesitant from deep so far.
And they'll work that ball all around as well. And again, Frogs in the zone.
Sindler's got it left side. And one thing that Carle Place did last time was every time Riley touched the ball, double team came over to him very quickly. Here's Riley behind the back dribble into the paint. Push shot, hangs off the rim and falls off. Long rebound to Tommy Brown. Brown pushing up the floor, comes right side. Three for Armstrong. He pump fakes, goes back towards it. Off the window, no good. Tipped out, comes back to Brown. Here's a drive by Morrison. Morrison up and under, swatted from behind by Puccio. Marmorelli kicks it out for de Blasio. Back out it comes. Left side, Sindler will try another three. Off the front of the iron. Offensive board, Oyster Bay. Back up with it is Marmorelli, who nets it in for two. 5-0 Oyster Bay leading 2 and change into the game.
And again, the pressure comes. Good job to get out of it.
Armstrong again blocked. Puccio back-to-back blocks, pushing up ahead, and that pass, a little miscommunication. De Blasio was expecting Marmorelli to cut towards the hoop, and he kind of froze.
And I think you'll get that too time to time when you want to push the ball up the court as fast as the Bay men do.
Brian Boyle will take a mistake like that.
Yes. Because it's an aggressive one.
Box and one defensively for Oyster Bay in the half court. Up top, that's Armstrong for a three off the front of the iron. Ripped out of the air by Kelly. Bounce pass down low on the left block. And another swat by Oyster Bay. This time it was Brian Sindler, but they couldn't keep it in bounds.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the Baymen, they're not particularly huge inside, but their interior defense early on has been outstanding. They
top out at 6'4" in the form of Anthony Riley. But Puccio has been effective at 6'2" as well. This will be Tommy Brown holding up top. Averages 8 points per game, but he had 19 in the semifinals against Malvern. Right side, little pass fake, throws up, no good. Brown trying to track down his own rebound, and he does.
And now you hear the fans behind us as well as the coaching staff telling the Carle Place guys to push it out.
Long three, netted by Marmorelli on the rebound. He's pushing up the floor. Marmorelli, little behind the back shot, gets it to go.
Marmorelli, how great was that, where he used his body as to get himself between the defender and the ball, and great job laying it up as well.
Well, outside of the initial possession, Carle Place has looked ready for the pressure that Oyster Bay has deployed. Still looking for their first points of the game, though. Right side three-pointer, in and out. Rebounded by Riley of Oyster Bay. Marmorelli feeling it early on, but not that time. Brown, an all-conference performer for Carle Place, bringing it up the floor. Didn't play last year because of a wrist injury, but back in his senior season, and I'm sure they're glad to have him back. Rosillo will try a three, and Carle Place ice cold to start this game. Marmorelli pushing up the floor again. Riley stripped to the basketball, lost it out of bounds, turned over to Carle Place.
Man, it looked like possibly some contact. We didn't hear the slap, though, on the hand. And if you're Carle Place, these have been good looks, though, Matt. They haven't been chucking the ball or forcing things. We've seen 1 3-ball rim all the way around and out. So I think they just have to avoid being frustrated and just continue to do what they've done.
John Cantwell, like you said, can't get too emotional about it. Kelly a little strong there. Marmarelli. Now it's Riley on the left side. Riley, 1 field goal for 3 points. 5 minutes into the contest, Carle Place still looking for their first bucket. Push shot that'll fall in for Riley.
Yeah, really nice looking floater by Riley as he just pushes it right through the twine. 9-0 for the Baymen.
Kelly to Armstrong. Armstrong will pull up on the elbow. And we talked about it in our open. The 2 games that they've played, they've been in the 40s, so a 9-point lead is gargantuan between these two. Riley might have got away with a travel out to Puccio. Up top to Blasio. A double slides over to him to Blasio. Wide open underneath is Marmarelli.
What a terrific
11-0 Oyster Bay to start the game.
Now what a terrific look. Dribble penetration by de Blasio. The kick inside. Marmarelli has 6 now. And it's 11-0. Another timeout for Carle Place.
Well, the last time these two teams met, back on February 4th, it was 46-39 Carle Place. And John Cantwell says a huge reason for that turnaround from the first meeting was because of how much film they were able to get on Oyster Bay. He said, we pretty much knew their playbook. We didn't let Riley get into a rhythm at all. They doubled him right away. It seems that Oyster Bay has definitely tinkered and changed some things around from that meeting, because Carle Place defensively have been a little back on their heels at times.
Yeah, you look at the 2 meetings, as you said, the first one, and funny, both teams hold serve at home. Oyster Bay 48-40, January 10th. Marmarelli 12.7 rebounds. The aforementioned Riley 11 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals. And then you go to Carle Place and Rusiello with 16 and 11. Nate Armstrong, 16 points. Tommy Brown, big free throws down the stretch with 20 seconds left. That was a 46-39 win for Carle Place.
5-point win in the semifinals for Oyster Bay, 50-45. And right now, holding an 11-point advantage 6 minutes into the game. Rusillo fouled from behind. And might that be what Carle Place needs, just a chance to get some points on the board?
Well, absolutely. That was a great job just getting to the basket. We've said it before, Puccio waving his arm above the shot. That's going to be called every time.
Rusillo, a 16-point-per-game guy. All-county player. 3-sport athlete as well, as you would expect with a smaller school. He's a goalie on the soccer team, attackman on the lacrosse team, and nets a pair and gets Carle Place on the board.
That's a nice size attackman too, huh?
6'5", yeah.
Yeah.
There's Riley with a step forward. Riley already with 5 points today. Kick out to the right side. Into the game, Khalil Williams for the first time. In and out on the missed shot. Tommy Brown up top for Armstrong. Riley with it, the quarterback on the Carle Place football team. Rusillo back up top. Brown again, short on the 3, and that's Armstrong.
Yeah, Armstrong, an interesting delivery, kind of pushes his shot.
Straight away 3, in and out, then in again for Puccio. 14-2 is the Carle Place deficit. Brown holding between the rings as we're just over a minute left in this first quarter.
And I think if you're Carle Place, you're looking at the score, and you got to probably figure the message on the bench is that these are too many points.
Right side jab step, now a 3. Again, Carle Place still looking for the shooting touch. Left side, Puccio. Basket won't go, but he's fouled.
You know what I liked about that move by the junior Puccio is that he was definitive. As soon as he caught the ball, he went strong and aggressive to the hoop. Got himself fouled and goes to the free throw line now with 40 seconds left in this first quarter.
Luke Puccio, a success story this year for Oyster Bay. At the start of the year was probably the 10th or 11th man on the depth chart in total in the rotation. But he continued to work, and his toughness is what Brian Boyle says has really come around over the latter portion of this season. This confidence in his outside shot as well. And to your point a moment ago, Dylan, just the confidence and quick decision making. They feed into each other. It becomes this positive cycle of success.
And he knows he's going to get the physical, it's going to be physical inside when he goes there, and that probably also comes, again, that 3-sport guy, football lacks 2 physical sports as well, so timeout called. 16-2 the lead for Oyster Bay. 40 seconds left here in this Nassau Class B final.
And last year, Oyster Bay beat East Rockaway in this game 62-41 for a Nassau County Championship and ended up falling to a very good Southampton team.
Yeah.
83-67. They're trying to get back to that point and win a Nassau County title for the 2nd consecutive year.
And back to Southampton, all they did was move up to Class A, and now they're in the final in A.
Two newcomers to Suffolk County Class A playing for a final. Tommy Brown breaking the pressure. Brown kicking out. Riley looked like he thought about a 3. Back up top for Armstrong. Armstrong. Now Russillo straight away on a 3. Boy, Carle Place cannot buy a basket right now. Riley back up with it. And he's fouled, but the shot falls off the front of the rim.
And nice rebounds by Riley, the 6'3 senior, 3-year.
Chris Kelly part of it. I misspoke. Riley's on the Oyster Bay side.
Yeah, Kelly, the 3-year player. 6'3 senior.
Can led Carle Place Wheatley to a Nassau County Finals appearance. Ended up losing to a pretty stout Seaford team. As quarterback of that team, he missed the 2nd free throw. Russillo back up with it. He's rejected. Another Carle Place offensive board, though. Chance to reset with the shot clock off and 12 seconds remaining in the first. Right side pull up. And a lot of clanking off the iron in this first quarter for Carle Place. Marmorelli half-court heave at the buzzer. It's good! A sweet cylindrical fall. And Oyster Bay takes a 19-3 lead after 1.
Marmorelli skips over to his huddle. That's a shot he will remember, certainly. And it's funny because when he took the ball and he went to the outside, you thought maybe he didn't have enough time to shoot it, but he let go of the shot right at half court and buried it.
So 19-3, the Oyster Bay start. We'll be back in a moment. Second quarter coming up in the Nassau County Class B Finals.
On March 12th, starting at 11 a.m., watch the best of Long Island high school basketball battle for the right to be called champions. Live on Channel 14. This doubleheader begins at 11 a.m. with the Class A Finals, followed by the Class AA Finals at 1:30 p.m. Watch the best of Long Island high school basketball live on the big screen on Optimum Channel, Channel 14.
Well, a boost for Oyster Bay to end that first quarter. Devin Marmorelli has 9 points, including that half-court buzzer beater. Carle Place continues to misfire from deep. Brad Beck into the game for the first time. Sindler cans a three. Well, right now, just a matter of one team hitting their shots and the other is not. It's about as simple as that. Both teams getting opportunities. Chris Shermetta into the game for the first time. Russillo will try one from straight away, and that's got to feel good for Chris Russillo.
However, now you need a stop on the other end. Obviously, the deficit is large. You can't trade shots at this point. And again, they're not a team that's going to get up and down the court and have these extended runs, really.
Brad Beck, the junior, running the point now. A foul away from the ball. Going against Chris Russillo. And after a short spurt, Elio de Blasio back in, as is Anthony Riley. Riley off a screen gets the three. That won't go, and Kelly has it for Carle Place. There's a stop. Russillo thought about it, kicks it back up top for Kelly. Tommy Brown, right side, Nate Armstrong. Back up top, Russillo. Russillo drives, strips, gets it back. Russillo up with it.
Oh.
And the basket won't go, but he's fouled.
So hard working. 2 or 3 times on that attempt. He's juggling the ball. He's trying to get it up there. He's getting hacked and stayed with it, kept battling, and gets himself to the foul line.
Khalil Williams whistled for the personal. And Russillo, who had a couple a moment ago, misses this one. John Cantwell's got to stay on him in order to get to the basket a little bit more. He's a very good outside shooter, but his height inside obviously an advantage, especially with the smaller schools. (22-7) the advantage. Riley has got his jersey in his mouth at the moment while he's playing. Now frees it, left side, corner three, won't go. Russillo's got the board.
I can't imagine that tastes too good.
Armstrong will kick it out for Tommy Brown, who thought about a three. Armstrong sets up plenty of time to unkirk a three, and he nets it.
And that one is so important, Matt, because it's somebody else now who's scoring the basketball.
7-0 run for Carle Place to cut the deficit to 12. It's 22-10, Oyster Bay. There's Brad Beck to the right side. They go on the block for Williams. Back out it comes for Beck. Beck driving, throwing behind Riley and out of bounds.
And again, you see Oyster Bay continuing off of any miss or any turnover inbounds. They are putting the pressure on. I like it here, too, with Riley at the top of that.
There's Kelly inside to a cutter. Block shot by Sindler. And then a double dribble coming up the floor by de Blasio.
And Brown, incredulous that there was no foul call down low. Thought there was plenty of contact.
Tommy Brown controlling just over 3 minutes gone by in this second quarter. Kelly will put the ball on the floor. Extra pass comes up top straight away. Armstrong, no. Quick pass ahead for de Blasio. De Blasio absorbs the contact and will go to the line for two.
Yeah, smart move by de Blasio, too, because he took a bit of a stutter step to kind of invite the contact, and I think if he takes the ball all the way to the hoop straight away, that's not going to be a foul.
Only the third team foul against Carle Place with 4.5 minutes to go in the half. De Blasio set a second-year starter, also plays football for Oyster Bay. Another player who's really come on in the second half of the year, averaging about 12 points per game in the second half of the season. And that's 1 of 2. Brown nearly stepped out. He's in trouble. Heaves it across the court. He's saved by Rosillo. Rosillo behind the back, knocked away. Brown recovers it though. Brown up and under, some contact. Rosillo's there. He uses that tall frame to go right back up and put it in.
Yeah, I mean, with his size and strength, he's certainly a great guy to have down low, but then that you sacrifice his three-point shooting ability, so it's a tough choice there for Carle Place.
Williams tries to save it. Riley able to recover. Riley lost the handle for a moment. Into the paints, and Rosillo able to turn it over. Lead pass ahead. Armstrong catches up to it. Armstrong fouled from behind by Khalil Williams, who's trying to make the case that he hit all ball on the slap away.
And on the other side, Armstrong trying to say that he was in a shooting position. He'll inbound, though, underneath the basket. The foul happened really just before he was going to pull up and shoot.
Likewise, just the third team foul against Oyster Bay. Tommy Brown was not really a scorer first point guard. Looks to distribute to Rosillo. Armstrong in the corner. Double team comes to him. Brown left side, Morrison. Armstrong will try a three. Well short, grazes the front of the rim. There's Riley. Gets it back up top, thought about the three, wings it around for Sindler. Left side, three-pointer, Will on the arc. De Blasio.
That was some great ball movement, Matt, where he just worked it to the corner. De Blasio buries it. 26-12 now the lead for Oyster Bay.
There's Morrison. Euro step inside. Shot won't go. But a foul as Chris Kelly will go back to the free throw line.
And you know that that's the message coming from Cantwell. Certainly, look, the shots early on not falling. Let's get to the foul line where we could score with the clock not moving.
Kelly missing on the free throw. He does have an unorthodox release. Not a lot of arc on that. Just kind of pushes it. Rosillo the rebound on the second miss. Back up with it, and he is fouled. So Rosillo will go to the line. And Marmorelli, the guilty party on both of those fouls. So he now has 2 fouls. And he may have to come out. Had 9 points in the first quarter. He has 9 points in the game.
Including that half-court shot. Where he also, did you see, after he hits it, he raised his arms and ran off the baseline as if it was the fourth quarter. Well, I was going to say, as if it was the fourth quarter. There's still 3 more quarters to play.
Well, it's hard to fault him with a 19-3 advantage after 1 quarter of play. Rosillo makes 1 of 2, and it's 26-13, Oyster Bay.
And that entire time, Boyle was just imploring his guys, hey, let's get to the huddle. Let's get to the huddle. It's the first quarter.
Oyster Bay is slowing it down a bit. More so than they did in the first. Back for a 3. And Rosillo has become more of a factor on the boards in this second quarter.
Yeah, and he's needed to be as well.
There's Armstrong, pull up, fall away 3. In and out. That thing was halfway down. Kick out for de Blasio, 3 down the other end. That won't go. Riley tips it up, won by Armstrong though. Armstrong ahead of the pack. Armstrong, a little up and under, scoop shot won't go.
And before he went to the hole, Russillo was pointing out where to pass the ball, but kind of tunnel vision on that, went straight to the hole, really without anyone else around him.
Doxey ripping the ball from Kelly on the rebound. And Riley giving a glance back to his head coach, Brian Boyle. There's Doxey, Aiden Doxey, the sophomore, the youngest on the Oyster Bay roster, and will have a whistle and a travel.
Yeah, that came just a millisecond before what likely would have been a foul call. It's a little bit sloppy end of the first half for the Baymen, where the first quarter was sterling.
Kelly rips it to the left corner. Armstrong tried a spin move, was stripped by Doxey.
Yeah, he's a little bit out of control right now for Carle Place.
Got to get the ball back into the hands of their senior point guard, Tommy Brown. Under a minute to play in the first half. Doxey holds up high. To his left, de Blasio traveled. Back-to-back travels on Oyster Bay.
And that's what I do right now. If I'm Cantwell, I say Brown has to have the ball in his hands. 5-second difference, shot clock, game clock, 26-13 to score. So if you can get a basket, and hey, if you get a 3 and you're within 10 going into the third quarter, you take that.
Chris Kelly's pass intercepted by Marmorelli. Doxey's got it. Oyster Bay can hold for one if they choose.
Yeah, I think Boyle is saying that. He's saying make the move at 10 seconds.
Riley up top. Doxey with 10 seconds left. It's de Blasio watching the seconds tick off. 3 to go. De Blasio into the paint, no good. Knocked away, and Armstrong won't get the shot off. When it was a 13-point difference after one, it's a 13-point difference here at halftime. 26-13. Oyster Bay doubling up Carle Place.
The love, yeah, it's in our souls. The passion, it's in the cheers. And in that pivotal moment, we live and die with every pass, block, steal, and game-winning dunk. And we wouldn't want it any other way. Don't miss a minute. Download the News 12 Varsity app today.
Second half about to begin on News 12 Varsity, and it's Oyster Bay leading Carle Place 26-13. Matt Shortis, Dylan Butler, Tom Schnorrs with you. And the Nassau County Boys B final. Oyster Bay in white going left to right. It's a 3 for Puccio. And Oyster Bay starting the second half much like they started the game with a 3.
Yeah, the first half started with a Riley 3. This time it was Puccio falling away.
Russillo rolls and rattles down to the basket, puts it in, and the foul.
He's going to try to get 3 the hard way now.
Russillo, the lone offensive presence really for Carle Place in the first half. He has 11 points now following that made field goal. Missed on the free throw though. 29-15. Oyster Bay on top. They were led by Devin Marmorelli with 9 points, and Anthony Riley had 5 to boot. Here is Riley holding up top. Riley around his screen. Kick out for de Blasio, who got going in the second quarter. De Blasio, a little roll towards the basket, is fouled by Kelly.
Yeah, the Baymen got out early, scored the first 11 points of the game, had a 19-3 lead after the first quarter. That lead ballooned to 22-3 before Carle Place started their comeback.
De Blasio 4 points today. He's got some high arcers on his shots. And if you're John Cantwell and the Carle Place staff, you said, all right, we stopped the bleeding in that first quarter. Second quarter, we played them even. Now we got to come out strong to begin this third quarter.
Their deficit 15 now.
Here's De Blasio intercepted behind the back pass, tried to get a little too fancy. And Brian Boyle gets up from the bench with the scowl of scowls.
Yes.
As his point guard.
Hashtag no words, because none are necessary in that situation.
And Armstrong leads it up ahead for Morrison. Rosillo stops on a dime. Gets his own rebound off the miss, went up with it, and we'll have a foul on Oyster Bay.
He has worked so hard this afternoon. Not that that is a surprise, but he has really carried Carle Place on his back in this game. Nearly carried an Oyster Bay defender on his back there for a moment.
It was Luke Puccio, who's now going out with 3 personal fouls. Khalil Williams will check in with 2. Morrison with the big headband. Youngest of the starting 5 at a junior. There's Brown, kicks it back up top. Rosillo straightaway 3. That won't go. That shot's been there for them all game, and they haven't been able to hit it. Riley crosses over on Morrison. Saved by Marmorelli.
I think, again, I'd like to see him get inside a little more. Rosillo, that is.
And you and Coach Cantwell as well. Here's a 3 that's short. Offensive board, Oyster Bay. De Blasio will line up for it again. Another offensive rebound. De Blasio now into the corner. Here's Schindler, and we're going to have a foul on Tommy Brown of Carle Place.
Yeah, right at the baseline. Brown was not set when there was contact. Blocking foul called. The inbound underneath. I mentioned the first half, Oyster Bay going for back-to-back Nassau Class B championships. Maybe looking to avenge the girls team loss to the same Carle Place team just before this game.
Carle Place completing a 3-peat on the girls' side earlier today. On the same court, and one off the window and in for Riley.
Yeah, he's been a little bit quiet offensively in this game, partially because of Mama Riley's shooting. But it also tells you something a little bit about Oyster Bay, where they haven't necessarily needed his shot this afternoon.
As their defense has been very good, along with Carle Place having some shooting woes. It's Chris Shermetta checking back in.
See a little weave now for Carle Place.
Brown, now Shermetta. Shermetta lost the handle. Here's De Blasio up ahead. De Blasio's shot goes in. Coast to coast for De Blasio. And a 34-15 lead for Oyster Bay.
No fear. He had the big fella coming in. Nice pass inside.
Shermetta had his shot blocked. Long rebound comes out to Marmorelli. Riley mishandled it, got it back and put it in. A 7-0 run for Oyster Bay and a timeout called by Carle Place. As John Cantwell senses this one getting away from his team.
Yeah, of those 7 points, the last 4 in 8 seconds. So he wants to calm his guys down, relax, talk about it, and If the last name sounds familiar, Cantwell, it's because we saw a lot of his daughter in the last couple years out here in Nassau County.
That's right, the North Shore alumnus, Alex Cantwell. Big hoop star, big lacrosse player there. She now plays collegiately at Lafayette. And actually, John Cantwell was there watching her play last night and then came back to Long Island for this important game. He said his wife is pretty much at every game.
Yeah, Lafayette, that's Easton, right? So about a 2.5 hour ride probably out here.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he's got more responsibilities here with this team. He can't be out there every game, certainly. That's such a great conference to play in any sport, really, that Patriot League with
Army, Bucknell.
Holy Cross! I mean,
Holy Cross.
Yeah,
that's right.
you've got the high academics and quality athletics, very similar to, of course, the Ivy League. Bucknell, another team there.
Carle Place out of the timeout. Russillo moving in, and the defensive intensity for Oyster Bay has been turned up a level. Marmorelli. Riley again. A transfer this year from St. Dom's. Riley. Here's to Blasio. Marmorelli straight away on a three.
Interesting there, too, because Marmorelli ran. He sprinted as a steal by Riley up and can't finish the play. But Marmorelli just before that took the three and then sprinted to the basket as if to think, oh, wait a minute, I missed this one. I need to get the rebound. Instead, he saw it get nothing but nylon.
Perhaps a response to the way that he ended the first quarter where his coach was trying to get his attention. So Riley back to the line. Or to the line for the first time tonight, I should say. That puts him in double figures with 10 points. And again, we talked about how he transferred back in from St. Dominic's, and now part of it was that he was seeing a lot of his friends starting to play on the varsity, so decided to come back. He attended a bunch of Oyster Bay games last year, Brian Boyle said. And it wasn't a hard sell, if you will. (41-15) Oyster Bay leading Carle Place.
Yeah, now this run is 12-0. And Carle Place did so well to get themselves back in the game. Really a shot away from going into halftime by just down 10. Instead, it was 13. And now the deficit is a lot more than that.
26 right now is where it stands. And unfortunately for Carle Place, this third quarter, very similar to that of the first, where they did not score a field goal till 2 minutes left. They only have one field goal to this point with 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining.
Yeah, their first points of that first quarter was from Russillo on the foul line with 2:04 left in the first quarter. And interesting now, right? Oyster Bay, the team slowing it down, and why not, right?
Yeah, when you have such a big lead as they do. Riley moving it in. Rebound comes out to Armstrong, looking ahead for Russillo. Marmorelli had knocked it away and tried to keep it in bounds, but he couldn't.
And now Carle Place forced to play a way that they don't want to play. They're trying to push the ball up the court, get quick baskets, and slice into this sizable deficit.
Kelly gets the touch inside. I mean, what's the milestone? What's the marker you're looking at? Is it 15? where you are right now with 2.5 to go?
Yeah, I guess maybe. And then you hope for another run like they had in the second quarter.
Marmarelli short on the shot. Russillo's got it. Tommy Brown up top to Russillo. Armstrong, tough baseline shot. Rims have not been friendly to the Frogs this afternoon.
No, it's been a tough afternoon as well for Armstrong. He's done so much for this team, the senior. His shot, though, just not falling today.
Well, John Cantwell looking forward to this game. A chance to maybe get this Carle Place program to a place where they haven't been in a long time. They have not won more than 12 games in the last 8 years, and this was a chance for them to get that 12th win of the season, a chance for them to get a county championship, which they haven't had in a while. And they have had quite a bit of adversity throughout this season. 3 kids that were on the roster at the start of the year no longer on their roster by choice, mostly by injury. So at times he said, we've had to bring up JV kids just so we could be able to practice in terms of numbers. And then you add to that the terrible situation that they had a couple weeks ago with Chris Shermetta, who they played Malvern on Sunday. The Sunday prior to that, he came home and found his father passed away. So as this season has kind of come to a culmination, Carle Place has had to come together in ways that I'm sure they didn't expect at the start of this season, including the family environment that they've had to cultivate, partially because of the situation that they're in, and partially because there is some family ties here. Chris Shermetta, his cousins Nate Armstrong and Ben Armstrong are both on the team, and they have been even tighter, and John Cantwell has talked about how proud he is in the way that his team responded and came together in support of Chris Shermetta through the tough time as Khalil Williams knocks down the jumper. Of a whistle on Oyster Bay. Shermetta, 1 of 4, as his older brother, he's got 2 older brothers, 21 and 17, and he has a twin brother as well.
Our thoughts certainly go out to him and his family during this difficult time.
Armstrong able to knock down a 3. Second three-pointer made today by Nate Armstrong. As Riley now de Blasio looked at it, stops, turns outside. Riley will try a 3, lines it up, nets it in. Nearly turned over. Kelly's able to hold on. Up top, Armstrong will try a 3. That's way off the mark. And Khalil Williams is there. Left elbow push shot from Riley won't go. The tip, that won't fall either. Marmarelli might have been a little too quick there.
He's got a wry smile on his face as he came back up because he tried to one-arm that rebound in.
Underhand scoop shot for Brown falls short. Shot clock is off with 25 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
And again, you got to think this is a hold for 1.
There have been few times when Oyster Bay has had to slow it down. We might see that more as the fourth quarter moves on. Riley turn around with 8 seconds left on the clock. Ahead, Kelly won't be able to catch up to it, and time runs out. So 46-20 is the score right now as we head to the fourth. Oyster Bay in control, trying to win back-to-back county titles.
On March 11th, starting at 5 p.m., watch the best of New Jersey high school basketball battle for the right to be called champions, live on Channel 14.
At the buzzer, good!
This doubleheader begins at 5 p.m. with the non-public B finals, followed by the non-public A finals at 7 p.m. Watch the best of New Jersey high school basketball live on the big screen on Optimum Channel, Channel 14.
(46-20), Oyster Bay on top. They got out to a quick start, 19-3 first quarter, and they've not looked back. Closest Carle Place has been 13. And Matt Morrison, that's the story of the day for Carle Place, is the close calls on the threes, but they've not been able to can them down.
Yeah, those rimmed outs.
Put back won't go. Another chance at it for Puccio. Puccio saved it, but right to Armstrong. Armstrong will pull up for three. That rattles in.
And an immediate timeout by Cantwell after Armstrong nails that pull-up three.
For Oyster Bay, we talked about Carle Place's struggles. Oyster Bay losing all 5 starters from last year's team. And Brian Boyle knew that they had a lot of underclassmen on the varsity last year that they thought they had a bright future. And then they added Anthony Riley as a transfer coming from St. Dominic's. And they gelled pretty quickly, and the confidence grew early, and the confidence came up quite big as this season progressed.
Yeah, Baymen beat 4th-seeded Wheatley 50-45 in the semifinals. Riley, 21 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. He's been that kind of player for the Baymen. Momorali with 19, and Carle Place reached its game by beating 3rd-seeded Malvern 58-52. So both semifinals very tight. Tommy Brown, 19 points. Matthew Morrison, 15. Nate Armstrong, 11.
Center Moriches and Bridgehampton square off tomorrow in the Suffolk County B Championship game. They'll face the winner of this game. Right now, Oyster Bay again in control. Minute and change into the fourth, 46-23. Whistle and a foul against Puccio, and that's going to be his 4th.
And immediately looks like they will go to the bench, and Puccio will sit. Coming in is Schindler.
Kelly lost it out of bounds. De Blasio. Bring the ball up the floor. Khalil Williams, real promising sophomore for Oyster Bay. He's had some foot and ankle injuries, but if he can get his health right, he is in excellent shape for next year. Marmorali, not that time.
I think Momorali is attempting to make all 10 of our top 10 plays of the week.
Well, the first quarter buzzer beater definitely puts him in the conversation.
Tried a reverse scoop layup there a moment ago.
Rosillo back to the free throw line.
First one strong.
Tackman on the lacrosse team, as Carle Place has high hopes in Nassau C. Always a tough conference when you got Cold Spring Harbor at the head of it.
Yeah. And they, led by Matty Lichardi, certainly look to be, again, a strong contender to maybe win even yet another New York State Class C championship. Back-to-back, they've gone. And it kind of feels like lacrosse weather outside today, too.
Yeah, I think it's high 50s today officially, around this afternoon. Tomorrow is supposed to be in the 60s. I mean, I was saying to my wife yesterday, if I was a high schooler on February break this week, this is the best week. I would be at the park playing handball all day.
Yeah, or, you know, if you're one of these lacrosse guys, you've been stuck inside
Ball.
doing, yeah, and now you can go outside, right?
Yeah. Nice move into the paint. Brown unable to finish, though. 3 minutes passed in this fourth quarter. Marmorelli again trying for that scoop shot. Maybe he's got a little shot type bingo going on. Scoop shot's the one he hasn't made yet.
Unless he's figured out that maybe Ed Margulies, our editor who puts together the top 10, loves scoop shots. I'm not sure if he asked somebody, maybe Amanda Puglisi, or
just follows Ed's Twitter habits.
No, he doesn't. That's the one thing Ed does not do. I mean, you still need to get him onto Twitter.
He'd probably say he doesn't have much to say, right? Is that his stock response?
Yeah, I would say that's a fair. Although I think he would be arguably the most hilarious read on Twitter. Strong move to the hole, Russillo.
Russillo's up to 14 today of the 26 Carle Place points. It's so interesting to me. Riley's got the jersey in his mouth while he's playing, while he's handling. It's not just he's off ball or so. Now Riley driving right side of the lane.
I hope he doesn't interview with that in his mouth.
Russillo again to the basket. 16 today for the senior. De Blasio with the speed again. Marmorelli for three, in and out. Rebounded by Kevin Duke. And a held ball. Let's see where there's the arrow. The arrow's to Oyster Bay.
I don't know what's more difficult, trying to tell a team who pushes the pace to slow down, or telling a team that plays slower to speed up. Wow.
Now we'll have a foul off ball.
A slight push on Riley.
I would say it's the former, because the one is a mentality. Carle Place, you look at the scoreboard, you know you got to move a little quicker. The other way, it's been preached to you all year round. This is how we play, this is how we play. So suddenly break all those habits.
And then, too, if you're Oyster Bay, right, you still have teenagers who see the scoreboard and say, let me try this, or let me get up and down and get the crowd excited.
Or what do I got to lose?
Yeah, right, right.
Riley will kick out. De Blasio will try a three. Well, Oyster Bay still pushing a lot of threes as well. Armstrong won't go. Under 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. 47-28 Oyster Bay. Likely heading to their second consecutive Nassau crown. Chris Kelly might have got away with a foul there. swiping down on the ball.
And now you wonder, and there goes Brown getting a big hug from his coach, leaving the court seemingly for the last time now.
And an ovation from the Carle Place fans as well. Benjamin Armstrong, sophomore, will come in. Nate Armstrong's younger brother.
And I think we'll see some of this as well as there's a foul. Momorelli fouled by Nate Armstrong. And I think we'll see some of that now by Oyster Bay as well. A lot of Bay men on that bench.
Yeah, generally the winning coach kind of waits for the white flag to be raised in a situation like this.
Yeah, and we're seeing it now. Kevin Duke comes in for Puccio, who hears an ovation from his crowd and gets some further instructions from his coach.
3 in and out.
Brian Boyle will probably put some extra miles on his car tomorrow.
And driving out to Selden for
Heading
the
out east, yeah.
Suffolk County Championship game. At Suffolk Community College. There's Shermetta on a pull-up.
What a job this guy has done all year long. Again, we mentioned at the top, Brian Boyle loses 5 starters. 5 guys that he relied on for several years. And then here comes Riley. Hey, Coach, I'd like to enroll in the school. Yeah, come on in. That's great. And he's been that linchpin for this Baymen team that just a minute 26 away now from a second consecutive Nassau County Championship.
De Blasio showing some nice speed. We have a timeout on Carle Place.
And we're seeing now, this is where Boyle, big smile on his face, hand slaps for his guys, empties out the bench.
Gonna go line change here. Derek Vickers, we'll try and give them as they come in. Brandon Murphy, another senior. Ryan Russo, I think, is trying to come in. Eddie Kemp. And Ryan Russo. Yes, Anthony Riley, obviously from Oyster Bay, grew up in Oyster Bay. So he still maintained a lot of friends in school, a lot of friends on the team. And, you know, why not? Come back for your upperclassmen years and get to school, spend your days with, you know, with the guys and the friends that you grew up with and you really enjoy being around.
And in a couple minutes now, he'll pose with his teammates and take a championship picture, which is a memory that he'll have and for a lifetime.
1:10 to play and a 3 from Shermetta. (49-31). Carle Place also made quite a few substitutions. Tough fall away shot, almost went in. Robert Emanuele is in for Carle Place. The Shermetta shot won't go. And we'll whistle one more time. There's one more substitution that Oyster Bay wants to get in. James Treber will come in. I think when you look at the 2 regular season meetings, neither team would have expected this.
Oh, no.
15-point combined between the two. And it's a 20-point advantage right now for Oyster Bay. 2 teams split during the regular season, and It was a matter where Oyster Bay got out to a huge first quarter lead and never looked back. Tenths of a second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. The bench for Oyster Bay on their feet. Brian Boyle says, do not take the shot. And the game will end. Oyster Bay back-to-back Nassau County champions.
And you see what it means to those Bay men right there. Second consecutive title. And you know it means so much more for these guys also because they were all, the guys who were back from last year, they weren't the lead players. This year they are.
They were led by Anthony Riley's 14 points. Devin Marmorelli had 13 as well. For Carle Place, Chris Rosillo had 16 points in the losing effort. So the final score, 51-31. Oyster Bay, once again, your Nassau County champions as they move on to the LIC.
Who will rise higher, dunk harder, and go farther? The playoffs are here. Tune to News 12 Varsity all postseason long.
Anthony Riley, 14 points today in the winning effort, 51-31 over Carle Place. And Anthony, you were not on this team last year, but you were a part of it. You came to a bunch of the games. They lost all their starters, so you and your junior nucleus, how much of the mentality of this team has kind of been to create your own mark this year?
We really wanted to make a mark. This year coming back, they were going to look back to back. I was looking for one, and it just feels really good to get this win.
And I'm guessing now that you're transferring back in from St. Thomas, that seems like a pretty good decision for you.
Yeah, definitely.
The first quarter, you guys started out explosively. Carle Place was struggling to hit their shots. Once that first quarter was over, what did Coach say to you? Did you guys almost feel like you had like a strong stranglehold on the game?
Coach just kept telling us 0-0 after every quarter. Don't stop pushing the tempo and keep going.
And what was it about the threes that you guys seemed to get into a rhythm early on? A lot of times teams get to the bigger venues and they don't quite have that shooting touch you guys did early on.
A bunch of us played here actually for AAU, so we know these rims and everything. And I knocked down my first one, and everyone just kept on hitting them after.
So was there a level of comfortability you guys felt coming in?
Yeah, we felt much more comfortable playing in this gym.
What do you expect in the LIC?
I expect to win.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Oyster Bay goes back-to-back in Nassau County today, a 51-31 win over Carle Place. That'll do it for everybody involved in our broadcast. For our producer, Tom Schnars, for Dylan Butler, I'm Matt Shortis saying so long, and we'll catch you next time on News 12